They moved sadly and apathetically as we heard them off the land of their fathers into concentration camps where minimal social needs are rarely met. They know they must move or be destroyed by our bombs. So they go, primarily women and children and the aged. They watch as we poison their water, as we kill 1 million acres of their crops. They must weep as the bulldozers roar through their areas preparing to destroy the precious trees. They wander into the towns and see thousands of the children homeless without clothes. I speak out against this war because I'm disappointed with America. We are presently moving down a dead-end road that can lead to national disaster.
So if all of us, whether it's in the field of civil rights or housing or whether it's in Vietnam or whatever it is, just hang back and say this is a problem of somebody else. If we're going to permit what's going on in Harlem now, of those young children to grow up uneducated and untrained and dissatisfied with life and dissatisfied with their future and feeling that there is nothing in this system, then we're going to be in difficulty. Even if we look at this selfishly, we're going to be in difficulty. The whole system's going to be in difficulty. Sophocles said one time, well, what joy is there in the day that follows day, some swift, some slow, with death the only goal. And really that's what many of our fellow citizens, whether they're in Appalachia or whether they're in Harlem, or whether they're the white children that live in some of these other areas where there's no future, or even our elderly people over the age of 65 who feel that there's not any future for them, that all they're going to do is die and get sick and have to take a pauper's oath. These, I think, are our responsibilities. These are your responsibilities, just as they are mine. And I think that for all of us, that we have an obligation. We have a responsibility. If we don't do it, then nobody's going to do it. And if educated people don't do it, then nobody's going to do it. And the people that are going to make the difference for this country and for the world are educated people. And we have a special, not only responsibility, but a special opportunity to make a difference in the world and make a difference for this country.
So here's what Israel has done. Israel has calls people before they bomb them. Nobody else in the world does that. There's many, many nations in the world that would just go and flatten the whole place, which Israel could do. It doesn't have to go in there and put IDF soldiers at risk in hand-to-hand combat. This is Hamas has made this stand. They're putting civilians in the way. What is Israel supposed to do? It can't leave Hamas in there.
But Bobby, I don't think we should accept that from any state, Israel or any other. And I mean, they have rendered, hold on. They've rendered Gaza City uninhabitable at this point. And there's been reports documenting that some of the procedures that you're talking about that they used in previous wars, they're not using this time. They've emphasized this attack on quote-unquote power targets, which are things like civilian infrastructure and high-rise apartment buildings, not to get Hamas, but to create a, quote, shock in the civilian population. In addition, as I mentioned before, you have a collective punishment of 2.2 million people who are having their access to water, food, fuel, medicine blocked right now by Israel.
People say this, but, I don't see any proof of that. Right now, that people are deliberately targeting civilians.
But the government announced they were doing a complete siege on the 2.2 million.
Yeah, okay, you're talking about the siege. The siege. Now, we did, for 10 years, we did collective punishment of Iraq. We actually killed.
I'm not trying to justify that either here.
But why are we just going after the Jews? Why is it only when Bobby, Israel does it? Let me just finish this right now.
Because our tax dollars are going to fund what's going on. And the visuals of these children being killed and losing their parents and the rubble and, the total destruction. This is something our government is backing.
You talk about solutions for the Palestinian people. The Palestinian people are arguably the most pampered people by international aid organizations in the history of the world.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
President Kennedy's favorite quote was really from Dante. The hottest places in hell are reserved for those who in time of moral crisis preserve their neutrality.